Yeah. It's really funny too, because I'll be talking and then mom's dog will start barking because she hears all the voices and he thinks that there's somebody here, right?
Oh,
um, so welcome everybody. How are you today? And I'm delighted to talk with you today about your why and why your why, like why do we have our whys, and your dream boards. And we're going to cover today about dreaming. And I know, when I first thought about dream boards, I thought, why waste your time? That is just stupid. And I'm sure many people here, like we've got a lot of guys who tend to be more analytical, right? They want to just get to the chase, get to the end, make that race happen. And I get that because I'm kind of that way too, where I feel like I just want to get down, roll up my sleeves and get busy. And like I was sharing with Annalise before many of you came on this evening on the calls, I was sharing with Annalise how we had done this dream board training 2 years ago on a launch program. And, it's really important to keep revisiting your goals. And I am a very visual person. And I even had a hard time at the dream board trying to put this together because I had to connect with it, right? And it seemed to me that it was play. It was just having fun and not serious. It wasn't really going to get me to the end. And my very first experience with doing a dream board actually was going through a leadership training that I had done called Landmark Education. And this was years ago. It was back in 2001. I was at a low point in my life too, where I was, my business was really hard. Things were always just a struggle, always trying, and there was no inspiration because I'm one of those people that tends to just beat it all the time. And one of the things that I really want to cover with you guys today is that you never stop learning, because when you're not taking care of you and your self-care by helping feed the brain with great nutrient inspiration, then it becomes very significant and very hard. And I burnt out on my print shop. I had to sell it because I was sick and burnt out. And one of the things that I'm committed in my new chapter of my life with doTERRA is to feed my brain every day. And part of the dream board is to do visualization and dreaming with yourself every day. And during this training I had done a long time ago, I was sharing with Annalise, I had put a lighthouse on my dream board. I wanted to live by the water, and I wanted to be a lighthouse, like a beacon of light for others. Right? I wanted to be able to sparkle onto others to show them the way. I want to truly be a leader that's going to make an impact and difference for other people in their life. And I just didn't know the way. I don't know, I think it's a lifelong journey. I don't think anybody knows the perfect way other than being humble and actually sharing what they know and their experiences are to maybe be that beacon of light. Because I realize that everybody is on their own path and journey. And so when we do these trainings, you look at it as going through and seeing what is your inspiration, what is your calling. We want your individuality to show up. I don't want you to ever look at like Suzanne and say, I want to be like her, or Becky, I want to be like her, because you know what? I'm not like you. I want to be like you, right? But if we keep comparing ourselves to other people, it's the thief of joy. And so one way to stop comparing, one way to see and find your own leadership is to do the personal development, to know what your true heart and your why is, so that you can have that as a roadmap and a pathway to follow every day, day in and out, as your journey, as you're moving forward on your journey. You can change it. Like I've heard of a lot of people going to college and they decide they're going to go to college because they want to have this career. And they get to college and they learn some things about that pathway and they're going, I don't think that's what I thought it was. I want to change my career. They change their education focus and they go to be a doctor or something. And they decide they didn't like that because they didn't know biology. And they change, they change their education 4 or 5 times before they actually graduate. It's okay to change, but I think we overcomplicate things, you guys. And, you know, when you're onboarding new leaders, you're trying to onboard and become a new leader, what does it look like? So one of the very beginning pathways that we like to show you is actually do a dream board. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and let's see here if we can see this. Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Is that showing? Because I did a whole presentation with it just being on the one slide, and I don't know why it doesn't change. Can you guys see this, the board, the
It's
presentation?
lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Steve Jobs for a second. And I think about someone young has a crazy idea about having this everybody's going to have a computer in their pocket. Everybody's going to have a computer on their wristwatch, like, you know, I might remember what that cartoon was, but you know, when we're going through and thinking about these crazy, they call it BA, I don't remember those initials, but the big ass crazy hairy idea, you know, when you come up with a dream, how does someone like Steve Jobs actually create a computer that's going to be in our pocket and actually have it come true? And you think, well, that's just 1 in a million. That's just 1 in a billion people, right? And think about that. That's true. Only so many people actually are able to really be present to their heart and their dream and feed that dream. Really work with that dream. Be crazy enough to think that you can change the world and actually have that happen. You guys, that is just so empowering. Don't you think? I mean, I think that's just really I remember President Kennedy in the United States said, I have a dream. I want to send the man to the moon. We are going to be the first country in the world to send a person to the moon. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, how can you make a rocket go all the way to that, wherever that is? Like, how much knowledge do you need to know to have that dream happen? And you know, when the rocket takes off, it's not on the course. They have to take and adjust, plan, do, review. You've got a plan, you're doing it, and then you review as it's happening. Okay, we're going to adjust the course just a little bit, and then the rocket adjusts a little bit, then it goes some more, and then you have to adjust it a little bit to make it hit that target. And that's what we're talking about today, is that we're hitting for the moon. We're making the Apple computer. I believe that God gave us all a bunch of gifts. You all are this unique, amazing, wonderful gift to the world. And it's your job to use up all those gifts. It's your job to go through and start taking every little gift. And maybe you don't even know you have it, but start to massage it and work it and be your true leader self. That is what inspires others. I don't think a true leader is someone up on stage because they want to be up on stage. I think a true leader is someone who struggles along the way, shares their path and their journey, shares what's happening and how to do that, because people then can see themselves in that light. And so perfection is not where you want to go. You want to be you and find your voice to share that. So you want to begin with the end in mind. And really, when you think about what is that? What is that? Where do you want to go? I will guarantee you that it's not big enough. I will guarantee you that you're not thinking big enough because you don't maybe think it's possible. Maybe the conversation of people you are hanging around with will only hold you to that level of what your abilities are to do. Do you realize that the 5 people you hang around with most are the average of what you will be? Rarely will you be able to move up past with those conversations that people are that you're hanging around with. So that is why you need to keep your mind with your goals above and beyond with the mindset that you're stuck with right now. If you are hanging around these 5 people, I will guarantee you in a year from now, you will have 5 other people you will be hanging around more that's going to help you up level your conversation to be bigger than you know yourself to be. Now, that could be people you don't know personally. That could be Eric Worre on GoPro. It could be these big leaders that you want to inspire to have those kinds of conversations. Learn and train your mind to be able to think like that. Now, in a foundership, think about foundership. How many here on this call would like to be founder? Go ahead and put in the chat. Me, if you want to be founder. I want to see everybody say something. Me. Participation is part of it, you guys. So write in the chat. And if you're going to be shy, then that's what you have. That is what you have. How many of you want to get past your shyness? I want you to write me in the chat. Come on, you guys. And because when you're thinking of if you were doTERRA, think about this. If you were doTERRA and you owned doTERRA India, like you were, the owner standing there in doTERRA's office going, I own doTERRA here in India, and I want 40 founders to represent doTERRA. I want them to be like this, and this. What is that list of who they want them to be like? They probably want those people to be able to travel within India and share the amazing essential oils to people, to inspire, just like Matthew and Suzanne did when they went to the different states and different cities. And that is foundership mindset, right? Being able to do that. Now, not everybody's able to do that right now, but if you were to think about, is that what you want? How does that look? What is that going to create? How am I going to feel when I have that? What is it going to, what skill sets do I not have today that if I had that would really help me be what doTERRA wants for their foundership person, for their people in foundership? Are you guys following me so far? Is that making sense? So you want to, this is out of the Leader's Guidebook, where the tip is to create a vision board with images that represent the dream of the future reality. Like it is real for you. And you're going to look at this dream board every day, and you're going to visualize you stepping in that room. If your dream right now is to be founder, what are all those foundership qualities and abilities that doTERRA is looking for? What are those like? And put that on your dream board. And as you're doing that, take your favorite oil. Motivate is the one that they put here. Put that on, because these oils have that energy to help you with that dreaming and with that. You're actually creating and changing your pathway. You guys, I have this book. It's right here. It's called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. So if you're sitting here right now saying to yourself, I can never have that, I can never be that, foundership is freaking crazy, it's beyond my imagination, I don't even know what that looks like, start creating that and using the oils as a new pathway to be able to help your energy get you there quicker, okay? That's why we have these beautiful oils, So start journaling. So I have this journal. Where did it go? Here it is. I have this journal book, and it's beautiful. And it's got a little, I just feel so good with this book. And it just makes me really represent. I cut out pictures and put in it. And this is my journaling that I do every day. Some days, like this one here, I just had 2 little paragraphs on it, 2 little sentences. What I said is, I'm so frustrated with myself, I can't stay focused. I need to be more habitable. I need to be more habitual, making those habits happen. I need to get my taxes done. That was my journal, but that's okay because then I'm able to then keep that creativity going. But I would like you to sit down today. If it's after the class, get a blank piece of paper, a journal, a binder, something. And maybe you are already journaling and start to write down your why. Now, when I first started doTERRA, I had no clue. Like my goal, my mission wasn't, being founder in India when I first started doing doTERRA. My goal was to be healthy. My goal was to make my body better. My goal was not to be depressed all the time and not to suffer. And that was an immediate short goal. And so I want you to look past those immediate short goals to like really dream. This pandemic has shut so many people down. This pandemic has really been toxic to so many brains out there, so many beautiful creative brains. And we need to start exploring, looking at what's possible. And I was sharing with Annalise before you guys got on the call that my dream board from 2 years ago I've done some of those things. I've created some of those things already. So I'm ready to up level my dream board to be bigger than I know myself to be. And so I want you guys to plan big. And what is the light that you want to be known for? What is the sparkle that you want to be for other people? What does that look like? What is the biggest impact that you want to make? One of my goals is I want to build a church in India. I don't know why that's there, but I just know into my heart that I want to build a church. And I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's okay because I know that if I believe that today, that there will be a church, and I don't even want my name on it, right? I don't even want to have recognition for it. That is me giving back to the world. And so ponder what those dreams could be like for you. I really challenge you to actually sit down with a piece of paper and see how difficult it is to stay focused and really believe in that. And then you want to question to yourself, why are you not allowing yourself to dream anymore? So doTERRA came into your life. Many of you, like I know Ruma, she picked up that ad and she said, there's something here. I don't know what it is, but I need to know about it. There's that energy and that magic that drew you to this calling. And you guys, this calling is super bigger than you know yourself to be. When you think about when I was looking at all the pictures of how full those rooms are, and I know it just makes me cry to know that I did an ad and I had people respond to the ad, and then they shared with other people, and then those people shared with other people, and then now those rooms are huge full. That was because of me deciding to make one decision to put an ad on Facebook and share these oils with you guys. And so dream big. Dream big. And the next thing is you want to be clear on your purpose. So I was talking to a girlfriend, I'm going to say probably 8 years ago, and she had just lost her love of her life. Her husband had passed away and she was grieving. Every time I saw her, she would just start crying. And of course, right, it's very sad to have something like that happen. And I looked at her and I said, how long? I mean, this was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, right? How long are you going to allow that to run your life? I believe your loved one would love you to turn the page in your life and write a whole new chapter. You have the ability every day to write a new chapter. And guess what? It can be anything you want. You can write a chapter on anything you want. It doesn't have to be with your past circumstances because it can change in a moment. Like she lost her husband in a moment. All of a sudden, her life changed. She can choose to go down this path of depression and feeling sorry for herself, or choose and honor the life you had with your loved one and move forward with that memories that made you an amazing human being and those amazing experiences and create brand new ones and live your life fully with all those gifts that you have, that you were born with, to explore and to use that as much as you can. So plan that out. What would you really like, and be clear on it. You know, I remember when I was in high school, my mom asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I'm like, "I don't know. What am I good at?" And she said, "Be a graphic designer." I don't know, what is that? I didn't even know what a graphic designer was. I didn't even understand. And she said, "Yeah, you can be graphic designer." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, seriously, I look at this as when the culture in India is you are arranged marriages, right? So they pick that for you. I'm sure there's some great uh, research done on it, but at the same time, they pick it for you. Yeah, that chapter is made for you, right? Because they know that if you choose it, if you powerfully choose that relationship or that marriage, or it will be amazing because you choose it. And that is what you're going to do when you're looking at your dream board. Okay, how are we doing so far? Any questions, you guys? Annalise, anything? Okay. So tips for creating a vision board that actually works would be focusing on what you feel. And that is really interesting, because I will have to say that many of us really don't know what we feel. A lot of us have wants, and that's a disconnect. So feeling comes from the dreaming part. So being analytical, we have, I want, I want, I want, I want. But you want to be able to, when you're looking at your dream board, see what it's like, or feel what it's like to be like a founder. So if you were actually a founder today, so I want everybody to think about this for a second, just for fun, even if foundership is not your goal. But if you were to close your eyes and say, "I'm a founder, doTERRA wants me to do, I'm going to travel 6 times out of the year all over India in 12 cities. And I'm going to be teaching." I'm just making this up. I have no idea if this is really what they want you to do. But I'm going to be in front of the in front of the crowd. I'm going to be taking pictures with all these people. I'm going to be on YouTube having 100,000 likes, or whatever it is, right? And how would you be feeling when everybody knows your name in doTERRA? What would that be like? And so you want to feel that right now in the moment when you're looking at your dream board, if that's on your dream board. And you want to set actionable goals. So that part of the plan, do, review aspect of it, so that you can say, okay, foundership, there's only 40 spots. I have no idea when all those 40 spots are going to be full, but I better be on there. So I'm going to plan on being founder, say by a convention. Maybe that's your goal. Big ass, what do you call it? A big ass fairy? I don't know. I need to figure out what those initials are, but it's a big goal, right? Especially if you just got started. Maybe you haven't even got your first kit yet, right? And so being able to figure out how you're going to get there. Well, what does it take to be a gold member? We have many videos and stuff on our past that we've talked about what it takes to be a gold member. And so you want to figure out how many people that's going to be on your team, how many leaders you need to have, all that kind of stuff, right? Place it somewhere you can see it all the time. So I know people, Annalise, she was sharing, she has it on her desktop of her computer. I have it in a couple different places. I have my dream board here on my binder. I have it in my mirror in the bathroom. And, they're different. And so when I was going through and reviewing this whole thing before this class, I thought, oh my gosh, no wonder it's chaotic. I got all these dreams. So I'm going to really try to organize in a way that my mind can simplify it, so I can focus on just a few things, because I have those few big goals, right? Update your vision board where you need it. As you see, oh, I did that one. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to do a new one and put that on there. And really put yourself, like when you're taking each little section of what you're looking at, and really be there, visualize it, smell it, feel it, experience it as if you're there right in the moment. Okay, so make it happen. So here is one idea of making a dream board, and this is a simplified version of it, because again, I'm going to share this with you. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you guys see this? Should I go ahead and change my stop sharing for a second? Well, actually, I have it on my next page. I'll just go to the next page. It's right here. So look at how crazy that is. Ah, so much going on, right? So I want to share the love, right? And when we're sitting here talking about, this is very personal to me, right? I want to travel the world. And look, I've got the plane right over India. I think that's India. But anyway, I want to play the harp. I'm a musician. And so I play the harp. I have a harp, but I want to be really good at it. And then I want to build a church in India. And I want to be on the Founders Club. And I want to be number 7 founder. Right? That to me is very realistic, and it's lucky number 7. So I even put a specific number, specific when I'm going to do that. And then over here is a picture of a peacock. I know it's really hard to see, but I want to share something with you. This means probably nothing to you guys, but my print shop, my mascot was a peacock, because all spectrum of color and showing your brilliance, right? That's what was really in the mindset of showing your brilliance. And what I really felt like, so this is at the print shop, right? And one day, after 28 years, you guys, 28 years, never saw a peacock where my print shop was. And one morning I got to work really early. Larry had a meeting to go to, like a network meeting in the morning. So he dropped me off at the shop, and I'm upstairs paying bills. And it was probably exactly 3 years ago today, because it was right in August. And I opened up the window because it was really hot, and I could hear this noise. It was a really weird bird noise, and I never heard it before. And I thought, what? And it sounded like it was just right there. So I'm like, that is really annoying. So I went downstairs, looked out in the parking lot, didn't see anything. I thought, that's strange. Went back upstairs, heard it again. I went back downstairs and looked again, didn't see anything. And I could have sworn it had to be right there. So then I went back upstairs and working on bills and kind of forgot about it. Then Larry came back from his meeting and he said, Becky, my dad died this morning. And I thought, oh my gosh, we just, there's lots of crying happening and stuff. And then later that day, the neighbor, the business across the street, came over and said, Becky, was that your peacock? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, there was a peacock in front of your shop this morning, about 7:30. Was exactly the same time Larry's dad passed away. So I know he knew that he wanted us to share our brilliance and keep on the path of who we are for other people. I don't know if you guys believe in that kind of stuff, but when I see that peacock, that is the actual picture. She took a picture of him because he wandered over to her place and took a picture of him. And so she told me, I have a picture, I'll share it with you. So I put that there so I can remember that this is bigger than we know ourselves to be. You guys have no idea what can happen day to day. And so live your day to the most that you can for others. And so Larry came up with the, I'm going to move on. Christ, the more here. I'm going to move on to all in on oils. That is something Larry came up with because we're all in. We sold our print shop. Now we're all in, baby. Watch out, right? And when you take the abbreviation, it's AO. And so I want to chant AO. So when I'm on the stage, I want everybody to say AO because it's all in on oils, right? And being able to make a movement and make a whole difference and impact for other people. And so that's me on stage saying that. And then here, I want to have so much money that I want to share with other people. I want to not have that be a struggle for me anymore. And I know everybody here would love that, right? And then I wanted to do a co-impact sourcing trip. And here we are, we did a co-impact sourcing trip. And it was just like, never thought I'd be able to make that happen. And I want to have a second home somewhere where it's going to be nice in the wintertime. Something really simple and classy. I want to be healthy because my dad died at 59 with a heart. I think he had a stroke or a heart attack. He died in his sleep. And so I want to take care of me. I want to be, around longer than 59. And then I want to have a lot of friends that are on the same mission and journey with me. Like we are moving forward into the light. We are moving forward and making an impact and vision. And I want to never stop running. It gives me joy. And then I want to climb the top of Mount Baker. Mount Baker, many of you may have seen me post pictures of the Great Northwest. My dad climbed Mount Baker on the top of the mountain. It's 10,000 feet. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but you can see all over. And so that's me on top of the mountain. So that, when I sit here and think about that, I wanted to share with you and experience the emotion, experience that with you so you can understand how a dream board can move you and make that happen, okay? And I'm going to go back to this one thing here. This is helping you wake up your mind and those mindset patterns to your full potential. We are living small. Many of us know there's something innate inside us that can make a bigger difference, but we just don't know how to fuel that. We don't know how to experience that. This dream board is that pathway to be able to help you make that happen. Okay, so Annalise, would you like to go ahead and share what your dream board is?
Thanks, Becky. So guys, like Becky, I make many, vision boards. I update my vision boards very often. And again, they're all over the place in different kinds of form. This is the one I have on my laptop, what is that thing called? The main wallpaper. So every time I'm moving, out of my laptop from different windows or even booting up, this is the first thing I see. And the most important thing to me is my family. And this was taken a couple of years ago. I have to now update the picture with our doggy. So we're a family of 4. And this is, the brand I'm building, which again I'm reevaluating, building to include the doTERRA presence that I now carry. So I'm in the process of revamping this. This picture here is of a fit, pretty, almost hippie, but classy hippie kind of me. So I picked someone who could possibly pass off as me when I get, that lean. I love everything about this picture. It's just, oh my gosh, something you said, Becky, about, it's not so much the what, but it's the what do you want to feel? How is this going to make you feel? When I see the ocean, like when I visited Norris and Yvonne, in Goa, driving across Goa, there were glimpses of the ocean and my heart just leapt inside of me. That's the feeling. That's the feeling that drives me to want to, live by the ocean one day soon. The main reason I really want financial freedom is so that I can give 100% of my time to the work I love, which is this. Right now, I'm still straddling 2 horses. I'm still working corporate in order to be financially free. But I also know that there is a lot of scope in how this business also will support me to get there. So that's the thing that is primary for me at the moment, this part of my life. And I've even told myself by December, I'm going to have paid off all of my loans. So that is that's what drives me and that's what keeps me going every day. For me, I want to work because I want to be able to work at stuff I want to do and not stuff that I have to do. Right? So work that I love to do is also important. Here's another picture of my favoriteest place in India. It's Varkala. It's in Kerala. For those of you, I know Joseph. I haven't seen all of Kerala, but there are 2 places in Kerala I absolutely love. And so Varkala is on my heart. I am definitely a hippie at heart. And it's not so much the hippie, but it's the free spiritedness that calls to me. So that's what makes my spirit, wake up in the morning. Yeah. Now, I definitely believe in divine, purpose, in divine calling. And when I saw the ad that Suzanne had put up, and when I started to speak to her, when I watched my first doTERRA video, I was crying. And that again was a sign, like Becky, you saw signs, right? I believe in science too. I knew that this company had the same vision as I did, and you all had the same values as I did. And I believe that this is part of, the Lord sending me forward to do the work He wants, which is as a healer. So I definitely want to show up every day, offering myself to people to just heal them in whatever way they can learn to heal themselves. As I really want to be able to teach people to heal themselves, which is why I want to be a certified yoga therapist and to use all of the oil, expertise that I have to bring about this change. So emotional healing is big on my heart. And here's a girl with fantastic abs. So the minute I stop eating the chips at night, that's going to happen. And this is my happy space. I don't have like an altar created, in my yoga space, but it's this energy, this vibes. I have little things all over the place that just remind me of, of that vibration that I want. A little boho in the house. Thank you for letting me share this, Becky.
I think that's really great. So I can really hear when you're talking about, I love how organized this is. It's not all cluttered like mine is. It's very easy to have your eyes focused on each section, and have you be there, feel that, and have that. And the more specific that you can get on what that is, like by the end of the year, you said you wanted to be financially
Yes.
by the end of the year. So financial freedom by December.
Thank you.
Being able to help yourself instead of it just being woohoo out there, like, because the feeling is there, right? We want to create that feeling, but put a specific thing there so that way you can keep planning, doing, and reviewing. Now, the thing is don't get mad at yourself if you had another day go by where you didn't pay that bill or something, right? Or you weren't able to pay as much as you wanted to, or whatever those goals had you get a little setback. What it is, it's having you see. Now, if you didn't plan and do and review, then you would have those upsets happening all the time, and it's not actual data that you're looking at, right? And so making sure that you look at this, adjust, make sure where your specific areas are. Like when you're shopping, Annalise, maybe you want to buy one of these pillows.
Yeah.
Like, what is that focus to happen? So wonderful. It's just so beautiful.
Thank you.
And this is the other part of I'd like to share everybody this one.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what, guys, this really works. So this is something that, if you see the date, this is something that Becky taught us at the end of the year. We were doing, the 90-day build up to the India launch. And I did this. I printed it out. I put it up. And if you notice, I put the figure of 3 lakhs per month is what I wanted. And it is so weird, but just before you asked me to do this, Becky, about 3 days ago, I was sitting, and if you can see, this is my financial board
Okay.
at my desk. And so I put my numbers there, I delete, I show the reducing balance, what money's coming in, what money's going out. And it was so weird. I had some awesome projects in the last 3 months, and they've actually been adding up to 3 lakhs.
Wow.
I was like, I put it up there saying, oh, because my believable figure was 1.5. And I said, okay, you know what? Chalo. Becky said, let's double it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I was dumbfounded that I'd actually been able to, get this money in to be able to clear a lot of the loans.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, excited. It's like I feel blessed. I feel, all much, much more free and very empowered.
So what would you be like if you doubled it again?
I will. It might be sooner than December then.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Thank you.
when you double it, I would say double it again. So not once, but twice.
Done.
And because that was something that happened that you didn't even really like, you had your plan doing a reviewing, but you didn't think it was possible. You thought it was only 1.5, but now it's,
Yeah.
so what it
Yeah.
would be like if it was 9 or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So, but if you don't think that 3 is possible when you were doing 1.5, what you're doing, you guys, is you're really shutting down your possibility. You're shutting down your gifts because you don't believe in you. And this mindset that's really we're working on right now is actually going to it will have everything shift and move you in that right direction. So, for example, I picked up this rank advancement book, and it's just so I'm just on the first few pages. I'm like, yeah, begin with the end in mind. Yeah, this is great. All this stuff, everything just speaks to you differently when you're constantly going through the emotions of working on that, and it will be part of you, become part of you. It's not even going to be a, oh, can I really have that? You won't even be having that conversation anymore. You're going to go like, how can I triple it? It's a conversation, right? So some suggestions to do this dream board would be work on canva.com. It's a really easy, fun way. You can search for different things, like search for a lighthouse, search for a group of people. It was really quick. You can probably do a dream board in 15 minutes, really. The old way was a post board and cutting things out. And you guys, it's just, I could never find the right picture in the magazines and stuff. So I really like using Canva. But keep it simple, keep it to 9 categories. So I think I'm going to go back and look at those categories real quick for you guys. These categories are just some ideas. They're not something that you have to stick to, right? But what is your business? What do you want to achieve in your doTERRA business? What is your next rank? Like, what is the rank you want to be by convention? What is the rank you want to be by the end of the year? What does it look like to be that rank? Think of all the nuts and bolts of what that is. What is the purpose? How do you see yourself serving others and experiencing fulfillment? What do you want to be known and remembered as? Like, start thinking about, like, what is your legacy? Like, what do you think people think of you down the street? Like, what do your neighbors think of you? Now, again, don't worry about what they think of you, right? But in some aspects of the way, what is inspiring you to be known as? Relationships. What are your relationships like? Maybe some of you might be single, looking for a spouse. Maybe some of you want to increase your circle of influence of friends and how you want to expand and grow. Then think about how much money it is. What would the financial opportunities and prosperity look like, and manifest that in your life? What experiences do you want to have? Do you want to go on trips? Do you want to send your children to school or whatever? What experiences are you passionate about achieving? And emotionally, how do you want to feel on a regular basis? So, like for me, when I was at my shop, I loved what I did, but I was so burnt out and drained. So, how do you want to feel like on a day-to-day basis, right? Spiritual, what is your divine intervention? What does your divine purpose look like? And I know a lot of us come from different spirituality aspects and stuff, and take that on and really look and see what that is true to your heart. Physically, I love Annalisa's picture of those 6-pack abs. Definitely not on my, I'm going to have to put that on my dream board because that's really what I want to. And then mental, like, where are you going to be in that space, and what do you want to be thinking, and who do you want to be inspiring, right? And so this is just an idea. This actually came from the doTERRA training, so I just pulled it together for you to take a look at it. Take a screenshot of this if you like, so that way you can use it as some of the guidelines to help you move forward. And then, you guys, the real true purpose of this class today is that the future really does belong to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And I really, really love that quote, because if you can believe in you like Steve Jobs did, Elon Musk did, some of these people who became president of India, do you think that they were born and running around as a 6-year-old thinking they were going to be president of India or United States? And so, you can change that up and really focus on inspiring others what your dreams are. That's really where it's at. When you can inspire other people on what you're up to, people want to belong to something big and something happening. That's what doTERRA really is. So, part of that, when you're inspiring others about that, is you want to include that in your story. Your story is why you do doTERRA. So, this is straight out of the Builder's Business Guide. And when you're sharing experiences, really, truly, when you share everything in stories, you are not trying to convince people. They are finding themselves with inside your story you're telling, that they can see a pathway for them. If I were to tell you something like this, oh, you need to buy doTERRA right now, it's really great, versus, oh my gosh, this digestion is amazing. It really saved my life. I had the worst food allergies. My stomach was crampy all the time. I just really felt irritable. People can see themselves in the story that I'm sharing. I'm not trying to convince other people. So the better you can get good at sharing your stories and with what your future plans are, the more you're going to be able to move forward with ease. So you have a product story that you'll want to share. For me, my product story is about my digestion and my stomach. And then a business story I share, which is about me working in India and traveling to India. You don't know, you guys, how many people stop me like at the grocery store or on, talk to me on social media about how inspiring I am to them. I'm like, really? I kind of thought that being here at the home on the computer, nobody even knows what I'm doing. But you don't know your influence. I'm telling you, when back to my dad, when he passed away, and at his funeral, there were so many people that came to his funeral that they had an overflow area, there was probably 600 people at his funeral. And we were shocked. We had no idea the influence that my dad was for other people. People told stories about him stopping along the side of the road and helping somebody when their car broke down. Stories of people he helped paid their rent. I mean, my dad was just like an incredible person. I had no idea. I'm just a spoiled little kid, running around and thinking and expecting things. But seriously, it takes an effort. And when you're actually going through and telling these stories and sharing with other people, the impact that doTERRA can be and what you're up to, that is really, you're going to help them see the pathway. Okay, so the outline of a powerful story is just 4 parts. It's like writing a movie. So sit down and think about, write this out. And you only want it to be no more than 5 minutes. And the shorter, the better. So maybe have different versions, a 1-minute story, a 2-minute story, and a 5-minute story, and actually get them very keyed in and powerful. So the first story, you're going to have your background. For me, I always tell people, we had a print shop for 28 years. And at the print shop, I loved helping people with logo design, helping their businesses be successful. It gave me great joy seeing a truck drive down the road with a logo on it that I designed. And, so that's my background, right? Part 2 is what you did not like about it. Oh my gosh, you guys, the stress was incredible. That print shop, we had deadlines. Boom, boom, boom. We could not, those deadlines were always getting shorter and shorter. The employees were getting harder and harder to find that would have the quality skill set. They wouldn't show up for work. It just was so stressful. And I got really sick. That stress was killing me, right? It was making my stomach terrible. My mind was terrible. I wasn't sleeping at night. But one day, so when you talk about part 3, you're going to look for, what is the solution? One day, a girlfriend came into the shop and she said, Becky, I know you've been doctoring quite a bit for your stomach and you're not finding any relief. I would love for you to try this bottle of essential oil. Just rub it on your stomach. And I'm like, you're kidding me. How can you have snake oils do something like that? I totally was terrible because I was so grumpy. And so that is the solution part of the story. And then part 4 is like, oh my gosh, these oils were so incredible. I could not help sharing with other people because I knew so many people who were struggling like me. And I realized that this was the pathway to my future, that if I stopped working at the print shop, I would not have the stress like it was giving me, right? I would not have to deal with those employee issues. I wouldn't have to have all those responsibilities and deadlines. And I could actually share these beautiful oils all over the world and make a huge impact and a ripple effect beyond my imagination. And so I sold my print shop, and today, here I am sharing these beautiful oils all over the world. So that is my powerful story. And you can sit down and write that out and break that down and share it every single time you're talking to and teaching a class. Share that story so much that everybody is going to hear it 100 times. But you know what? There's going to be that one person in the room that may never heard that story, and you made a huge impact for. Don't ever get tired of your story. Don't ever give excuses for your story. Okay? So this is going to be something that I put this in here because part of the problem that we have as people today is that we don't have habits that keep us focused and keep us empowered. So if you were to going to do daily habits, we call them DOMs, daily operation, DMOs, daily method of operation. You're going to want to consistently do this every day. A true leader is someone who's disciplined. So think about this. If you wanted to lose weight, what does it take? It takes discipline. If you wanted to learn how to play the harp or a piano, for example, it takes discipline. You have to put in the work every day to get good at it. Leadership does not just come down and infuse in you. You have to put in the work. You have to show up every day and put in that discipline to make that happen. The only people who are going to be successful are the people who have habits that are going to help them get there and that they're consistent with it. So 5 daily keystone habits that are in this book actually, but is you want to spend 30 minutes on your DMO. Spend 30 minutes on your daily method of operation, working on your business, doing your social media, doing those things that have you have your business intact. You want to spend 30 minutes on personal development, visualization, doing the reading, doing those things, right? You want to spend time reaching out to at least 5 people, new connection, follow up, and support every day. At least 5 people every day. You want to spend 1 hour dedicated on working on a relationship close to you. Maybe it's your husband, maybe it's those phone calls, talking to people, reconnecting. We are in the relationship business. And so you want to be a good friend. You want to be someone that's countable. You want to show up for them so that they know you can be there. You want to spend 30 minutes a day on you, like exercise, meditation, yoga, self-care, like doing your nails, your hair, or getting, a shave, whatever that is for you guys. That is so important. There are 168 hours in a week. If you did these time slots every day, that only equals up to 14 hours. Out of 168 hours in a week, this is only 14 hours of working on keystone habits to have you reach your goals. So find that discipline. And if you can make it 28 hours in a week, you just doubled your impact, right? If you can do an hour a day on your daily method of operations, if you can do 30 minutes a day, 1 hour on visualization, on self-development, you are going to increase your impact. And so that is what we're talking about today, is being able to go through and do that. But keep it simple. Don't complicate it. And I'm a person that loves complication because then, it's a struggle, right? It must be my habit must be loving struggle. I want to stop that. So I'm really committed to making things simple. And that is what my class is today for you, is to to do the basics, go through the pipes, keep it simple, and be in action. And that's what's going to have you get there today. So anyway, that is the full class for today. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording, and then we're going to see if there's any